On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu approves nomination of 2 ministers. UN envoy says military coup a setback, condemns Niger's situation, plus federal government rules investors for Nigeria's lithium deposits. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Express, live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Uyag Mofwigwe. President Bola Tinubu has appointed Jamila Bio Ibrahim as Minister of Youth. The president also appointed Ayodele Olawande to serve as Minister of State for Youth. Their nominations, however, position precedes their confirmation by the Senate. Ajiri Ngelale, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, announced the developments in a statement on Sunday. The position of Minister of Youth became vacant after the President had redeployed Abubakar Mama to the Ministry of Niger Delta Development, NDDC. Similarly, President Bola Tinubu has approved the nomination of Dr. Olayemi Michael Cardoso to serve as the new governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, for a term of 5 years in the first instance, pending his confirmation by the Nigeria Senate. Special advisor to the president, Ajiri Ngelale, said the directive is in conformity with Section 8, subsection 1 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007, which vests in the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria the authority to appoint governor and 4 deputy governors for the Central Bank of Nigeria, subject to confirmation by the Senate. In a related development, President Tinubu has approved the nomination of 4 new deputy governors of the Apex Bank for a term of 5 years at the first instance, pending their confirmation by the Nigerian Senate. The deputy governors are Nana Usoro, Muhammad Sani Abdullahi Datijo, Philip Ikazo, and Dr. Bala Bello. President Bola Tinubu has been scheduled to
Briefing State House
on Sunday for the United States to attend the 78th UN General Assembly, UNGA, which will take place from September 18 to 26, 2023 in New York. Correspondent reports that the president, on the sidelines of the UNGA, is scheduled to prioritize investment drive as part of his conversations with his counterparts around the world in order to advance his objective of aggressive economic development and diplomatic pursuits, as well as attract foreign direct investment, FDI, into the country, as he did at the recent G20 summit in India.
Briefing State House correspondents, Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the President, Ajiri Ngelale, stated that President Tinubu will actively participate in 2 major summits at the UN, aside from the general debates of the Assembly. President Tinubu, according to him, will also meet with major chief executives and leaders of multinational firms cutting across multiple sectors of the economy as part of a series of crucial meetings and side activities that will have wide-ranging ramifications on the Nigerian economy.
Sunday, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be departing Abuja for New York to attend the United Nations General Assembly of 2023. Of course, aside from the engagements he's going to be having at the General Assembly, aside from the active participation that the Nigerian delegation will be engaging in at the Assembly, there are a series of very important side activities that will have wide-ranging ramifications on the Nigerian economy. The President, again, focusing in on his economic development diplomacy, will be having investment at the front and center of his conversations with his counterparts around the world. And these engagements include bilateral meetings on the sidelines with the President of the United States, with the President of Comoros, with the President of South Africa, with the President of the European Union Commission, with the Prime Minister of the Netherlands, with the King of Jordan, with the Algerian President, with the Brazilian President, and with the Spanish Prime Minister.
Similarly, the president will also be presiding over the Nigeria Small and Medium-Scale Business Summit to ensure that Nigeria keys in on opportunities that are being presented by Nigeria-owned small and medium-scale enterprises. The presidential spokesman said this is aimed at attracting foreign direct investment, jobs, and new tax revenues to the shores of the country. Uyi Agmofwebe, reporting for Global Television News. Briefing State House correspondent, special advisor on media and publicity
of Nigeria, as well as its territorial sovereignty for the nation's economic growth. Plans are underway by the Nigerian Army to rejig its training and operational activities for effective service delivery. Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Lagwaja, stated this at the closing ceremony of the Chief of Army Staff Combined Second and Third Quarter Conference in Abuja. Kikelamo Okere has details.
The Army boss explained that the conference had afforded the Army the platform to review its training, operational and administrative activities that are directly related to national security in order to actualize desirable outcomes, adding that the briefs and presentation made during the conference has reinforced the task and clearly depicts the challenges ahead of the Nigerian Army.
Chief of Army Staff's quarterly conference participants, I believe this gathering has again awakened us to the reality that we have a job to do. The briefs we listen to and our deliberations on pertinent issues during this conference have reinforced the task ahead of us and clearly depicted that it's not going to be easy.
General Lagbaja also reaffirmed the commitment and capability of the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army in ensuring safe and secured environment for good governance and socio-economic development in collaboration with sister service and other security agencies. He further charged all formation commanders to calibrate their strengths to deal decisive blow on the nation's adversaries.
However, as I affirmed during the opening ceremony, I do not doubt your competencies and commitment to ensuring we join hands with our sister services and other security agencies to create the enabling environment necessary for good governance by the political leadership and economic prosperity for our people. Let me reiterate that we cannot afford to show a jot of weakness because the adversaries we fight are emboldened by weakness.
The Chief of Army Staff also presented checks to 10 maiden beneficiaries of Nigerian Army Personnel Insurance Scheme in an effort to provide financial security and support families of personnel who died in active service. According to him, the gesture was an expression of Nigerian Army's appreciation of the service and sacrifice of its personnel in defense of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the nation. The Army Chief expressed appreciation to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria for his intervention in repositioning the Nigerian Army for optimal operational performance, pledged the unalloyed loyalty of the officers to federal government and Constitution of Nigeria. Kikelamo Okere, Global Television News, Abuja.
Following the numerous challenges posed by the continued presence of unauthorized persons on the various highways around the country in the guise of revenue collection, Acting Inspector General of Police IGP Olukayode Egbetokun has ordered all state commissioners of police to immediately commence the dismantling of such non-security points within their areas of responsibility. Again, let's join Kikelamo Okere for details.
To the information received by the police operatives, some officers are engaging in mischievous activities such as the seizure of vehicles, collection of fines, and other unlawful activities in the checkpoint. In lieu of this, the Acting Inspector General of Police stated that to ensure accountability and transparency within the force, the Nigerian Police Force has taken steps such as reinforcing the IGP Monitoring Unit and the Complaint Response Unit based at the force headquarters to arrest violators and prosecute after dismantling the checkpoints.
We are equally aware of the challenge posed by the continued presence of unauthorized persons on the various highways around the country in the guise of revenue collection, who constantly constitute nuisance on the highways by obstructing the flow of traffic and engaging in mischievous activities such as the seizure of vehicles, collection of fines, and other unlawful activities. All state commissioners of police are hereby directed to immediately commence the dismantling of such non-security checkpoints within their areas of responsibilities and arrest all violators for prompt prosecution.
He maintained that Directive has earlier been given to all state commissioners of police to CRU officers in their respective state command headquarters as part of the force's commitment to combating corruption and improve professionalism in the Nigerian police force, adding that commissioners of police who are yet to comply are given a deadline of 3 weeks from today to do so. The acting Inspector General of Police further highlighted some of the breakdowns recorded under his administration by the police force in the last 5 weeks.
Our committed officers have demonstrated relentless determination in upholding law and order through meticulously planned and well-coordinated operations driven by actionable intelligence. The Nigerian police force has effectively disrupted multiple infamous criminal syndicates involved in organized crimes, leading to arrests of 288 armed robbery suspects, 187 kidnap suspects, 198 homicide suspects, 59 suspects for possession of prohibited firearms, 168 suspects involved in cases of rape, defilement, and other sexual offenses, 265 suspected cultists, and 1,891 suspects for various crimes.
The IGP, however, declared that the police is poised to support the efforts of government by providing the needed security and enabling environment for all legitimate businesses and other economic activities in the country, adding that any attempt by scrupulous elements to sabotage the economic revival will be met with stiff opposition from the police force. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News, Abuja.
The British High Commission is set to explore partnerships with the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, with a focus on renewable, clean energy and green infrastructure in the Niger Delta region. The Second Secretary Political, British High Commission in Abuja, Amish Tai, disclosed this when he led a delegation that visited the NDDC Managing Director, Dr. Samuel Ogboku, at the Commission's headquarters in Port Harcourt. Tai observed that the NDDC had shown commitment to realizing sustainable development in the Niger Delta through partnerships and collaborations with national and international development agencies. The NDDC Chief Executive Officer told the British delegation that the Commission had made public-private partnership, PPP, the core policy focus to drive the development of the region. You're watching Global TV News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles as you now see on your screen. When Global TV News Express returns, the federal government woos investors for Nigeria's lithium deposits. We'll tell you more about these, as well as bring you other stories right after this break. Please don't go away. This is Global TV, bringing you live broadcast of the News Express from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. The leaders of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger have on Saturday signed a charter establishing a defense alliance. Ministerial delegations from the three Sahel countries announced at the press conference. Head of Mali's ruling junta, Assimi Goïta, posted on X, where he stated that together with the heads of state of Burkina Faso and Niger, he had signed the Liptako-Goma Charter establishing the Alliance of Sahel States, also called AES, the aim of which is to establish architecture of collective defense and mutual assistance for the benefit of the nation's populations. The three countries are battling a jihadist insurgency that erupted in northern Mali in 2012 and spread to Niger and Burkina Faso in 2015. All three countries have also undergone coups since 2020, most recently Niger, where soldiers in July overthrew President Mohamed Bazoum. In the meantime, Tijani Muhammad Bande, Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, says the recent coups in African countries are regressing democracy on the continent. Speaking with the news agency of Nigeria in New York on Saturday, Muhammad Bande cited the effects of the coups would spiral into a setback for prosperity, adding that African countries fought for the sovereignty of their nations and should be at liberty to choose how they would live. Signs of discontent within the Nigerian armed forces are mounting. Soldiers, both not-commissioned officers and officers, do not feel supported or protected by the junta's generals. The latter are more concerned with protecting their financial interests and their already shaky footing in power than with defending the interests of their subordinates. No longer listening to their men, the junta seems increasingly isolated while popular anger rumbles. And back home, the Ministry of Solid Minerals has made efforts to attract investors to explore lithium deposits in the country. A statement by the ministry's Deputy Director of Information, Alaba Balogun, said on Friday at the exhibition booth of the Ministry of Solid Minerals at the Pan Pacific Hotel during the 21st Africa Down Under Conference in Perth, Australia. The statement disclosed that investors had shown interest in the country's minerals. The statement said, presenting a robust case for investment in the country's mining industry, the Minister Alake had highlighted plans to set up the Nigerian Solid Minerals Corporation as the interface between the global mining industry and Nigeria, adding that the laws permit investors to take profits out. The Minister of Solid Minerals also assured investors of safety, reiterating that the government has given illegal miners 30 days to join cooperatives in addition to plans to deploy surveillance task force and mine police to combat criminals at the mines. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, has charged member states of the Abuja Memorandum of Understanding on Port State Control for West and Central African region to comply with the requirement for member states to inspect at least 15% of vessels calling at their ports. Oyetola, who disclosed this at the 13th Port State Control Committee meeting of the Abuja MOU, hosted by the government of the Republic of Cote d'Ivoire in Abidjan, also urged member states to achieve full ratification and domestication of all relevant instruments. Also, the Director General, Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, noted that the Marine Administration in Nigeria is committed to effective implementation of regulatory instruments in the country. Speaking at the event, the minister, who doubles as the vice chairman of the Abuja MOU, emphasized the need for regulators and stakeholders of member states to ensure their maritime domains remain safe, secured, and environmentally friendly. Let's take a look at sports quickly. Nigeria's sprint star and world record holder in the 100-meter hurdles, Tobiloba Amuso, hopes to bounce back this weekend from the setbacks she had suffered at the 2024 World Athletics Championship in Budapest, Hungary, as they take part in this year's Diamond League in Oregon, United States. Similarly, world silver medalist in the long jump, S.A. Brume, will be among those competing. Both top-rated athletes will use the competition as a possible period to redeem themselves after the 2023 World Championship nosedive. Apart from the famous 12.12 second world record, which she set in the semi-final last year at Oregon, Amuso also ran a marginally wind-assisted 12.06 seconds to capture the gold medal in the evening. Another Nigerian athlete, S.A. Brume, is among the finalists for the long jump top prize at the Diamond League this weekend. As we end Global TV News Express, a quick look at the summary of our top stories. President Tinubu has approved nomination of 2 ministers. U.S. envoy has lamented adverse impact of military coups as a setback while condemning the situation in the Republic of Niger. We also told you the federal government has moved to woo investors for Nigeria's lithium deposit. And that's it on Global TV News Express. It came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. I'm Oyag Mofwebe. Thanking you so very much for watching. I'll see you again.